It's a beautiful August day in the Pyramid Alps, and I have construction tools at my disposal. So let us construct, or rather destruct. I like that I had such a huge amount selected there that it was just all happening off screen, and it chewed through all of my money. So, well, that's how are they disgusting? How are you disgusted by my past? Stop vomiting on them. That would solve your problem, wouldn't it, guests? Okay, so what I have learnt is I need probably more handymen. But actually, no. What I need is... Okay, let's try this. Let's stop being sick. Not even in the sort of the 90s sense either. The 90s sense of all your BMX and you're doing things that are radical and indeed sick. Soon. Oh. Handyman, oh. Stop handying that. That doesn't need any handying at all. Forget it. Get rid of that. Yes, I have my ambitious terrain flattening music. And by shovel, this is kind of, unless this takes place at a very small scale, and it's a sort of model village scale, they kind of feel you'd need more than a shovel here. This would be kind of sort of, I don't know. Well, getting onto my usual obsession with the health and safety aspects of the Thunderbirds, this would probably be, in the Thunderbirds world, this would probably be some sort of nuclear shovel. And then it goes sort of wildly wrong. So, which is going to do better here? Is Bride's going to do better, or is Brollyhack going to do better? Actually, I should check if my guests all want to. Oh, Undertubs is too expensive. Ooh. Let's drop Undertubs to £7. Missing out on money there. So, the vandalism again. Just stop vomiting on things, and then they won't need to vandalise things. You won't need to go bend bins in half just because you've seen some sick on a path. Oops. Totally accurate and representative lake, but don't worry. We will fix that. And this maybe we'll have a lake here at some point. Have we call it Greg Lake or something. Okay, so they're still waiting for money. I guess riding things. Oh no, these my microcoasters need refreshing. Okay, so yes, because obviously they're well into year 3, so I could just charge less for the cheese wedges. But actually, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to refurbish them, which will be nice and cheap. And I guess we'll be riding them again. And that will be that sorted. Okay. I probably should refurbish the tubs as well. Let's get my cheese wedges going. So it's because they're not that exciting, so they're a little bit marginal on whether you can charge as much as I am for them. Yes, now in the interests of excitement. Oh no, cheese wedges in the way. Okay. Yes, in the interest of excitement to continue to building the flattening. It feels like a name of a Highlander sequel. Highlander 9, the flattening. How many Highlander films were there? Other than the stock answer, which is probably a few more than they should have made. The Highlander 1 was good. I actually quite liked 2. I don't know in terms of sort of fandom of those movies, and bear in mind this is a long time ago as well. I think I was quite young when I saw them, probably below the age you're supposed to be to watch. I don't want to build Coil Spring. Coil Spring's a bit too much. No, I lost control of the mouse. Cheese wedge. There we go. Let's click on that. Let's charge £7 for it. So this should probably take me up to the point at which the the guest cap hits, and we can't get any more guests, but at least that should make me lots of money. So let's keep going. Yes, I quite like 2. I think 3, I was going to say 3, the one in which, but then I realised I've probably forgotten most of the plot of Highlander 3. That might be a good thing. It was in that sort of, for some reason I vaguely remember being around sort of the time that Lawnmower Man was out, and I think it tried to catch on that sort of weird sci-fi-ishness. Who knows? Yes, whatever. But I recall it not being as enjoyable as the other 2. These sort of, they kind of went, they started reducing the sort of the Queen quotient of the soundtrack as well, which, you know, because the first one, that's pretty much the entire album of the kind of magic. Like, most of it is actually just the Highlander soundtrack. Just, you know, Who Wants to Live Forever and Princess of the Universe and things like that. And there's a nice touch, and I can't remember whether it's in 1 or 2, where Conor McLeod wanders into a bar and then hits up a jukebox and plays something on a jukebox, but the song that plays on the jukebox is Hammer to Fall, which was actually off the previous Queen album, The Works. No, it's what I think it must be 2, because it came across as a nice touch rather than just there's lots of Queen in this movie. So, anyway, I wandered so far off. I'm actually on a diversion from my diversion, and I don't even recall how I got onto Highlander. So, from Highlander from Thunderbirds. Yes, but I was reading this for entirely unrelated to this series reasons. I was looking something else. I'm actually looking up into the context of trying to support a good sprite generation, a thing which I probably should get back and do some more of one of these days, rather than just flattening land. Oh yes, because it's raining. So we lose all of our income when it's raining. None of the guests will go in anything. So, Alpine Adventures is a bit of a rainy park, so we probably need to build some things underground, which would be quite alpine. They have the sort of funiculars which run underground, so once I've got all this flattened, we should probably, when we're building, their new mountains. Although, dear, it's going to always rain. That's rather a bother. And I could build some of these underground, I suppose. Build some little coasters underground. Let's keep it going. Yeah, let's keep an eye on the guests as well. And make sure there's nothing that they're going, oh no, I don't want to. It's too crowded here. Oh, they're running out of cash. That's lots of vandalism. No, I could really turbocharge the number of guests, actually. So let's advertise as well. So let's get lots of guests in. Cheese Wedge 5. That's a great to advertise. So yes, let's get even more guests in. Keep trying to flatten things. Oh, there's a guest who's sick and angry. Wow. So yes, it's too crowded here is becoming a problem. Now, I think part of this is because the cheese wedges aren't really keeping guests in the queue line, so every time it rains, we're losing so much money from that. So the guests not being able to do that. So let's improve the cheese wedges. Let's do that. Let's see. Well, let's have a longer queue line on that. Oh, I've kind of stacked these a bit too much, haven't I? We can still. Live. We can still do some queue line manipulation. There you go. So slightly longer queue lines on these. Are they actually connected to the path? Oh, we have a problem of I'm not paying. Yes, these are too expensive again. So let's Just briefly pause the game. So, actually, yeah. Need to close these. Let's refurbish them again. Yeah. So, that might be... I wonder whether it might be better to just not charge that price for them, because they do seem to run out quite quickly. Well, actually, don't pause the game, because you still make money, just not as much of it as you would like. Okay, so... Cheese wedge refurbished. Cheese wedge refurbished. I'll just open them all at the end. Cheese wedge refurbished. Cheese wedge refurbished. How long? How long? They basically just make an entire 20-minute video. This is just me going cheese wedge refurbished. That's definition of watchable. It would be theoretical watchable. You could watch it. It just wouldn't be very fun. There we go. Cheese wedges back in action, back in commission. Go on them. Yay! Right, we have queue lines filling up for those. So. It's still year free, so it doesn't take it that long to flatten large swathes of the park, but it is going to be a while. That might be an ambitious amount. So let's concentrate on flattening a local area. I don't know why the handymen are so ineffective. Let's get some more of those. It's fine. Let's go fix the vandalism as well. So they do like their bending bins in half, these people. Right. Oh, and some benches which have been crushed. Mighty bench crushing guests. There we go. That's getting better. So we now have lots and lots of cash. Let us blow it all. I wonder if there was a way to get sort of statistics of total what we'd spent on this. Oops. That's a way to waste money. Sort of get this kind of action wedge down. There we go. So if I had 30,000, it just went because I just sort of removed a whole swathe of that. Now, what I could do if I really wanted to go over the top would be just set up the debugging tools and then run this in super high speed. But no, we should survive doing this. This is good enough. Ooh, the twist. Oh, so this has both snow cups and the twist. Wow, this is a bit of a twist spectacular. Okay. Right. Where was I going? Will I ever complete the Thunderbird story before the end of this episode? It's been sort of hanging for a good 5-6 minutes. So, I was researching. It's an entirely different conversation, mostly about transport tycoon sprite generation. And I went and looked up the crab logger. And for those who didn't watch Thunderbirds, the crab logger episode is one in which a large logging machine, which sort of fully automates the logging process, goes out of control. Because I think when I looked this up, it's because the operators get food poisoning. And what tends to happen in the Thunderbirds world is vehicles sort of, they have an autopilot, but the autopilot will just send them on a path of some destruction if people aren't constantly at the control. So, your rocket autopilot, if you're not actively steering, will just steer you into the sun. Your sort of monorail autopilot will just speed you up to 200 miles an hour to send you off the tracks, that sort of thing. And this, of course, yes. So the two dudes controlling it fall asleep because of some bad tacos or whatever, and the thing then decides, oh yes, I'm going to set a path to the nearest village and demolish that, and then sort of demolish a dam which is going to sort of flood a valley because yes, that's totally reasonable. That's how things sort of fail safe in the Thunderbirds world. But I was reading this, and it was talking about how people get into this thing. And I think this may have been a plot point in the episode. A long time since I watched it. And it was talking about this thing of it says, well, people enter, a crane picks them up from the ground, deposits them on the roof of the vehicle, and then they have to enter using a hatch. And I was looking at that, thinking, so this is supposed to be the state of the art for the 2060s. You know, this sort of incredibly complex mechanism, and then it doesn't actually deposit them in the thing, it just deposits them near a hatch, which they then open. And I was thinking, well, here in 2021, my vehicle has a thing called a door, which kind of works even when you don't have a complex pneumatic and hydraulic and electrical system for powering a crane. It's just, you just sort of get in it when you feel like it. Well, these are... I am actually going to drop the price of these, because I think this is just going to be incredibly annoying otherwise. Just having to constantly maintain this. So, I'm thinking to drop these down to sort of £5. Will they go on it at £5? Yes. Otherwise it's going to take so long to do if I have to keep going back and sort of meddling with these. So, it's going to be £5. Premium one could be £5.10. The cheap one can be £4.90. So they're kind of flooding back on there. And it's slightly less money, but there's also slightly less need to constantly be on top of these. Okay, so there's the other guest rides, which guests are saying I'm not going to pay that much for it. There's quite a bit of toilet complaining. Oh, Mr. Forrest is disappointing, Cups is disappointing people, but other than that, it seems to be okay. Let's do some more advertising. Let's get some advertising done. So, advertise disappointing. I'm not sure whether this actually has any impact, by the way. If you advertise for a ride that's actually a bit rubbish, whether it makes the advert less effective. Let's see. Let's do some more demolishing of land. So, 14,000, that should get me 2 tiles worth of land demolished. Come on, let's keep going. Let's see how much money we can build up. So I could build another row of corkscrews, I suppose, which might help with the crowding issues. So let's do that. Let's have another row of corkscrews. This I will build this into a nice park once this is done. All of the sort of cheesy corkscrews will go, and then we will have kind of nice park round here. There's sort of a good roller coaster and some nice theming and some good terrain. But right now, my interest is in getting the money. Let's get rid of Greg Lake. Because Greg Lake is not a very good lake. It's much better as a progressive rock musician. In case you were wondering where that reference came from, yes, that's Emerson. I think it's Greg Lake. This is where I suddenly get all unconfident because I didn't actually research it before I started. Cheese wedge 9. There you go. Charge of 5 for that. Hopefully, this should just give, because these don't have amazing throughput. These little micro coasters, they could probably get quite a bit of money by building a really big coaster. But, there you go. So just gonna build those. They build 3 cheese wedges. I don't think I need lots and lots of cheese wedges, but I think a few. Cheese wedge 11. Probably need another mechanic to keep an eye on all of these. So let's get a new mechanic as well. There we go. And that's all sort of okay, isn't it? So let's let the money build up. Yes, there's lots of it building up. But as we know, I'm going to go and try to remove like one tile and it's going to cost me multiple thousands of pounds, and then that's not going to go very far. So let's keep going. Let's keep this moving along. Right. Okay, so 51,000. How far does 51,000 go? Well, let's not try to do... Let's try to do too much at once. So, requires 8,000 to remove that. And so I kind of think that I do better with just flattening the peaks off. Although that means there's lots and lots of money to spend later, kind of flattening it out. Yes. So this is an even worse Alps. This I've just turned it into sort of muddy, horrible quarry. Which you know, that's where we wanted to be, wasn't it? Yes, we're really suffering with the rain. Maybe I should have built this underground. See, even with those low throughputs, they seem to empty out the queue lines. So what's my park received an award for now? Oh, safest. Though, yes, very safe, because as long as you ignore all the construction that's happening over here. Oh, stop raining. Yes, so one thing you learnt, this definitely is going to need some underground things. So, of course, the guests kind of staying in here, so most of these are, you know, they've got brollies, not really benefiting from the added. Okay, so this is going to cost us 1,000 to bring this down. There we go. Keep doing this. We will get there. Yes. Yeah, should I build a real big money-making coaster? I don't know. How much money do we make off ride tickets? Make some 19,000. So I think, yes, I think we need to build one of those sort of real crazy throughput coasters. So let's get on that. So I think that the Twister I can do that with. Ooh, yes. So yes, so we need to build one of those crazy high throughput coasters. So this is basically the technique from the splash posts. Ooh, that's a little bit much. Right, and then a half corkscrew and a half corkscrew. So that is built. Ooh, okay. That's a little bit less efficient than it could otherwise have been. And I think this is also slightly less efficient than it could otherwise be. Okay, so how many trains can I get with this? Oh, okay, so what this actually needs is, I think this is going to need a block break between each one. And then we can have more trains on that. So let's do that. Let's have a block break there. And then actually maybe we could probably place this with a block break. And then another couple of boosters. I don't know whether that's going to be too fast to go through there. Let's see. Let's put another block break in there. Oops. Still need to construct the entrances and exits. Oh, so that turned it into a station platform. This is... I should have paid attention to when people were talking about this on Reddit. Yes, absolutely. I should have built some ghost stuff. Okay, that's concerning. Okay, so station platform. Oh. Oh, that's just completely... Have we encountered a bug? Well, let's just fix that. So let's go back and try to build that again. Let's go to high speed because that's at least makes us more money while we're waiting for that. So this is going to need a booster and then a block break and then a station platform and a faster booster and then a block break and then a station platform. Some news. Who knows? Not regular breaks, sorry. Block breaks. And then a station platform. Okay, so I think this should be okay, actually. Let's do a little bit more boosting. In fact, we could have an on-ride photo section and just make a little bit more money. And then we can have a half corkscrew. So again, this is another sort of cheesy coaster. They just wanted another block break just on the entrance to the station. And then let's get the entrance next the right way around this time. I think that will give a slight advantage too. And so we're going to go into block section mode, 8 block sections, and let's test this. Make sure these trains get all the way around. So I'm going to call this frozen cheese. And the reason for building this is it should have incredible throughput, quite good excitement. And so therefore, we will actually make quite good money off of it. Oops. Let's go around. That's so. Let us build that. Build some queue lines there. There we go. Okay, so frozen cheese. How exciting is frozen cheese? Frozen cheese is quite exciting, actually. So you probably could get away with charging £7 for it. And the guests will continue to pay that. We've already charged $3.20 for the on-ride photo. So, frozen cheese, away. Go for it. Let's see if that's given us enough money to start. Oh, yes, yes, yes. So, there we go. Lovely cheesing roller coaster, 61,000. So let's see what that does to our stats as we with this. With the 80% of it. Oh yes, that's looking like a huge boost to the amount of money that's coming in. So we can probably get rid of some more of this now. Maybe don't go so huge. Let's try to constrain it to just this. Yes. So this takes. Well, it takes a lot of money for this to happen, you know. Here we go. Oh dear. It requires 9,000 to do that. Let's get a little bit less ambitious with the amount of flattening. And ultimately, we still need to pay the same. We need to flatten all of this anyway. But yes, let's get this flattened. There we go. Oh, there we go. Right. I think it is time to end this here with this rain, and I shall see you in the next episode when we shall find... Oh, what's guests complaining about? Are they still complaining about disgusting paths? Who knows? I don't know. When we shall see if we can speed this up a little. Now the tub is broken down. What a lovely sound to end the episode on. I shall see you in the next one.